Hi everyone, it's Keyless Entry. This is part 3 of my Lockwood Padlock series, and today I'll be talking about the different variations of the 232 padlock and the 234 padlock. So in part 1 I picked and showed a locksmith's format 232, which is this one here, and part 2 I did the 234. These are basically identical. 232 is basically a scale down of 234. Yes, they do have different keyways, smaller pins, but in the way they operate, the way that they're put together, the single locking mechanism, single paw there, the way they open clockwise and anti-clockwise, everything's pretty much the same. So I'll be talking about all the changes sort of in line with both models. So first off, I just want to show you this catalogue that I got from Paul Springett. This is from 1965. We'll go to the padlock section, which is just here, and we've got the 232 padlock here. And I can identify it by the photo here, and that looks like that one there. That one might not have a brass shackle, but it's that body type. Same with the 234. I can identify that it's that one there. So it's got the shoulder, as you can see there. Actually, in both models they have that shoulder. So we can say that this line here, this one's a little bit of an outlier. I'll explain why in a second. No, this one's the outlier, and so is that one. So this line here is 1965 or around there, and I mean they could be from the late 50s and just be in that catalogue, but let's just say 1965. They even have the same patent number. So we got Australian patent number 129699, and that refers to, I've read the patent and it's improved locking mechanism, but I think it actually refers to the locking paw that I've showed in both of these padlocks, the single-sided locking paw. So they even share that same patent. That's how similar they are. All right, let's say we're 1965 here, so let's work our way back a little bit. So I've got this Lockwood 234 here. I presume it's from the 50s. It's got to be earlier than 65, and there was 3 changes before 1965. So this could even be from the 40s. I don't know, but let's say 50s. So it's got the US logo, as you can see. Lockwood Australia on the key. Made in Australia. Lubricate with graphite only. And then you go to the next iteration. So a different logo again, and you can see that that oval is not quite as round, and the bottom of the L goes all the way to the O, and this one here stops at the W. And then we have a third type of logo, and you can see that's more of the traditional Australia Lockwood logo there. It's even got Australia in that oval there. So all right, so same with this. I think this one's a little bit older than 1965, because that's the one that was in the catalogue, and the Lockwood looks to be pretty much the same. There are slight differences, like a D is really small compared to that one, so can't really say for certain if it's older or not. But the Australian patent's written in 2 lines. So yes, I'm not too sure which one is older, but I suspect that one there. So yes, so all these are the same. They've got the same 2 pins, one for the core, one for the shackle. Same with this one here on the 234. But the interesting thing about 234s and 232s, about the early ones, they didn't have these single plugs going through here and the one for the locking paw. They actually have a single plate which covers the whole thing. So I've never taken one of these apart, and probably never will, because I don't know how to remove that safely without damaging the lock body, or how to put that back in, or Probably need to make a custom piece. They probably don't sell these on the shelf anymore. So you can see this one single piece there. That's from the 234s. That also happened on the 232s. You can see that it's one solid piece instead of the single ones there. And even on that one, this one's been a bit hacked actually. All right, so we're about 1965, but the same version of the 234 actually had the plugs. So there's a little bit of a difference there. Now, then they moved on to a different body type. So after 1965, there was one certain body type, and it was sort of halfway in between the last iteration and the 1965 type. So you can see this has got like a big heavy shoulder part taken out of it, that little bevel there. This one's only very, very slight on this one, and then you got none on here. So also these were referred to as the fat body 234, because when they're pretty wide, and if you take it to the current one, or the last one, sorry, I keep saying current because these aren't made anymore, so so you can see they're quite a bit thicker. They're both 45mm wide, but yes, quite a bit thicker and heavier. And honestly, I like the look of these much more. Yeah, these are sort of modernized, slimlined. It's just got so much more character. All right, so we got pre-1965, we got 1965, and this is like the outlier here as well. It's got that little shoulder, so this same thing carried over to the 232. And then the last ones of the 234, they also came in a 6-pin. So you got your 5-pin body here, it's the same size throughout, and then we have a 6-pin body made for a 6-pin key. And they also offered these in restricted profiles. So here we've got an ML, got a C4, we've got a C4 there as well. But they also did come in the J series, the binary plus, etc. Alrighty, and same with the 232s, but they kept their same keyway from start to finish, as you can see there. It's all the same keyway, just LW15. Alright, I think production stopped. Well, it's hard to say because, well, this box here that I've got here, and this is the one I picked on the very first episode video, and so they might be making these still, because it says copyright Lockwood Security Products, proprietary limited 2000. So I'm not sure if these are still made in the year 2000. Might be. I'm not too sure about that. It's very hard to find information on these, when models were released and replaced by others, and if there was overlap also. With the 234, they probably stop at the same time, but there was a padlock to take over the 234, and that was the 234/45 that had a removable core. So I'm not sure if they were available at the same time or not. But yeah, alrighty. So one little note to add is the 232 3619. So I thought I'd covered all the 232 variants, but then I found this little guy here, and he's an actual lockout tagout guy. So, and this is we've got Asabloy. So yeah, definitely after 2000. So we've got the 232/30, but you can see the body is different. So it's got a taller body, a thinner body, as you can see. Same keyway, I believe. Yeah, same keyway, LW15, but it's got a 6-pin core. Now it's also got a nylon jacket, so this is a lockout tagout lock, and it's got a stainless steel shackle versus the hardened shackle, and it's also double locking, so it's actually got a ball bearing on each side, So these are far more secure being with the 6-pin core, and these obviously you can't shim. Alrighty, I think that covers all the variants of the 234 and the 232, and I think on the next video I will carry on with the 234 progression. So the next one will be the 234/45. Anyway, that's it for me. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.